Happy New Year. Happy 2024. In this episode, we are continuing to set the freaking tone and the vibe for the new year. And I decided that one of the best ways that we can do that is have a conversation on energy and how we can manage it and curate it and just go forward in our best energy. So I'm going to do that today by answering some of the best questions that I've been asked lately related to energy. This is going to be a very powerful and inspiring episode. Let's go. Welcome to All In with Ali podcast, the podcast for online business owners and entrepreneurs who are ready to create the life and business of their dreams. I am so happy you are here in the new year. We freaking made it. We made it. Thank God. Am I right? Thank God. You know what's cool? Okay, so first of all, happy birthday to All In with Ali. It has been exactly a year that the podcast has been All In with Ali. So if you are new around here or you forgot, my podcast used to be called Six Figure Influencer, and we changed the name to All In with Ali because that's just a lot more accurate with the vibe of conversation lately. And I launched All In with Ali, the rebrand of the podcast, January 1st, 2023. So it's been a year. And this is also really funny. So I'm actually recording back-to-back episodes today. I just recorded the Christmas one. So if you haven't listened to that, please go listen to that episode. I'm so proud of that one. And honestly, this episode and that one go so well together. So if you were busy last week and haven't had a chance to listen to both of them. But I just recorded that one and I didn't want to wear this same shirt because that's boring. And I ran downstairs to pick out a different shirt to record in for social media content. And I don't know why, but I was like, I kind of want to wear just a comfy sweatshirt. And as I pulled for the one that I'm wearing now, I realized that this was the sweatshirt that I was wearing on the January 1 episode and launch of this podcast last year. So that's kind of cool. So maybe this can be like my little tradition. But happy birthday to All In with Ali. And we got the same shirt, but whoo, is this a different vibe and a different me? Thank goodness. Because that episode, it was very raw. I cried in it. I think that was my year in review podcast. So of course, I talked about a lot of amazing things, but I also had to talk about losing my mom and a ton of regrets that I had around that whole situation and our relationship. And it was very, very raw. And there were tears. I think that's the only episode I've ever cried on. So yeah, if you want to throw back, go listen to that one. But I'm very thankful. It is not lost on me, the difference of energy that I'm recording this episode. And I'm very thankful for that. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a beautiful holiday season. And I'm really hopeful that you are feeling fired up and hopeful and inspired for a brand new year ahead of us. Remember, we're co-creators. We have a lot more say in what happens this year than we probably give ourselves credit for. And we can't even be sure anyway. So why not just hope and expect and speak into existence the best anyway, right? Nobody wants to be a bummer. That's lame. So let's have fun. So, like I said, I wanted this to be an inspiring and uplifting episode. And I also wanted this to be helpful, obviously. I want all my episodes to be helpful, but when I think of going into the new year, and again, this is such a great episode to listen to with the previous episode, the Christmas episode, or I don't know when we're either going to release it on Christmas because that's Monday when I normally release, or we'll do it the day after. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to talk to my team about it. But anyway, that episode and this one, I just wanted it to be something that you listen to and that it reminds you who you are, and it just helps you make your most powerful step forward. That is my intention for this conversation. So naturally, I wanted to talk about energy because it's more than half the battle. Action is so important. Strategy is so important. I said on the last episode that if you're dreaming big enough, it's not just going to happen accidentally. You have to, one, actually want it and put it on the map, but two, move toward it. You have to take action. But if you don't believe that you have what it takes to make that thing happen, you'd be insane to move toward it, right? Like, you're not going to see me try and qualify for the Olympics. There's not a sport that I can play at all versus anything at the Olympic level. So you're not going to see me practicing and prepping for the Olympics. That would be time to put me in the loony bin. But what you will see me doing is taking action toward creating one of the best podcasts on the freaking planet and impacting thousands and millions eventually of women through online business. I do that every single day because I believe that I'm going to do that. I'm on the path toward making those things happen. So action's so big and critical, but if the belief isn't there, you'll never take the action, or you'll take the action for 5 whole minutes and then revert back to whatever it was that you were doing prior to that. You'll just knock yourself back down to the level that you're used to. That's habitual for you. So, do I need to tell you anything before we get started? Oh, okay. So in the last episode, I talked about Rebel, and I'm doing this 31-day. It actually starts today as this goes live. It starts on January 1st. So if you've not heard about Rebel, or if you heard about it and you forgot to sign up and you still want to get in, I think we're keeping it open for a couple more days so that you can get in. And when you get in, you get access to everything. So even if you get in January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, however long we decide to keep it open, you'll get access to everything. So if you're interested in that, I'll put the link again in the show notes. Get in there. Get in there. It is like inspiration, mindset, everything that you want to carry into 2024 on steroids for a whole month. It's to die. Okay. I think that's all I need to tell you. So let's get into it. So these are questions that I've been asked just randomly. A couple came through my membership, all in the membership. And then I sometimes will get questions for you in the DMs as well, which I always love because I can answer them here, or, I love to riff on them. And I'm always just honored that you think of me and want to pop in the DMs and ask me a question. So these are questions that I've gotten recently, like in the past month, related to energy. And every single one of these questions, when I got asked, I was like, that's a great question. So I would love to expound on these here in this episode. Okay, the first question that we're going to dive into is, what is the difference between high energy and high frequency? This is such a great question. So she mentioned, I don't have the question in front of me, but this is somebody who was in my membership, and she had done one of my programs. I want to say it was Destined. And in there, I talk about the power of your frequency, right? And the power of like being a match for what it is that you want to create in this world. You have to be a match of frequency. And, that's an energetic conversation. But her question was, what's the difference between being in high energy and being in high frequency? And my answer was this: even when I'm in a bad mood, I'm still a badass and worthy of everything that I've come here to create and experience. That's high frequency. That's low energy and high frequency, right? That's like, or even a bad mood, you can have high energy. Anger is high energy sometimes, but you feel the difference of that. So what I mean by that is, there's this common misconception, I think, especially when you start learning about the power of your energy and getting into these type of teachings and conversations. And I used to get confused about this too. But there's this common misconception that in order to be a match for big things and good things and positive things, that you have to be positive and high energy all the time. You can't be in a bad mood. You can't get mad. You can't get sad. You can't get tired. You need to be, quote, high vibe constantly. Otherwise, you're going to start attracting in a bunch of crap that you don't want. And that could not be further from the truth. Couldn't be. Think of the person that you look up to the most. Are you telling me that they're bouncing off the walls, constantly happy all the time? No. Are you telling me that they don't experience excruciating situations and challenges? No. Are you telling me that they don't get angry or sad or doubt themselves, or periods or even seasons of low energy and low vibe? Of course they experience that. That's human nature. So what I always say with this is we were given emotions for a reason. If God didn't want us to feel our emotions, he would not have, she, the universe would not have given us the emotions to feel. We have those. They're messengers to us. That's what makes us human. That's what separates us from freaking cows. So we're meant to feel. That makes the journey sweet, right? Like you don't know what happiness is until you have felt the deepest level of sadness. You don't know what inspiration and what confidence feels like unless you have felt scared and doubted yourself. The duality makes everything sweeter. It makes the good so much better. But we're not meant to hide from the quote unquote bad or the dark or whatever. If it's there for you, if it's in your experience, there's a reason why. And as a matter of fact, the fastest way to get through that is to feel it wholly and to experience it. The fastest way to the other side is through. It's when you resist it because you feel like that's wrong and you're not supposed to, that it actually prolongs the experience and it can manifest in other things then that you really don't want. So yeah, the difference between high energy and high frequency is I can be at a high frequency as a human regardless of what I'm going through, whether I'm sleeping, whether I'm in a fight with my partner, I'm frustrated with my day, I'm confused, I'm whatever. I can still be at a high frequency. I can still believe in myself and what I'm here to do and create an experience regardless of outside circumstances. That is how you hold a higher frequency. And actually, that was the next question. So we'll go deep into that in just a second. But that's the difference there. We're not meant to, again, be bouncing off the walls or be happy all the time. That's insane. And that would be very annoying. And you have to remember too, that it's the hard things. It's the sad things. It's the contrast in life where we get the true wisdom from. That's what makes us great. It's often those challenging things and experiences and frustrations that take us from good to great. So we need those things, but it's that underlying vibe of like, no, I'm going through it right now, but I know I'm going to be okay. Even if I'm not certain I'm going to be okay, like I know I'm going to be okay. And by the way, you can still fall off that, right? Like you're not always going to stay this super high frequency. You're going to bump yourself down a few times. That doubt will creep in. The loss, or actually, let's just go into the second question because here's how we hold it, right? The second question is, how do you hold the energy? You hear a lot of people talk about that all the time, like just hold the energy, believe, think of what you want. What is the energy of that? What's the feeling of that? Now just hold it, hold the energy. What the hell does that mean? I'm going to tell you. That means acting as if. That means deciding I want that. I am worthy of that. I'm going to make that happen, and keeping that energy as consistently as you can. So that's where acting as if comes from. Because if you truly believed that you were, insert whatever the thing is that you want, let's say you truly, truly believe that this is going to be you're going to, what would be a good example here? Okay, let's say like you're launching a business and you fully believe that it's going to be a success. You just know, you believe in yourself. You may not know every single thing that you need to know. And, you've never done anything like this before, but like, you're just like, if I build it, they'll come. I believe in myself. I know I can make this happen. If you really believed in your inevitable success, then you would build the thing, right? You'd build the brand, you'd have the presence, you put out the content, you put out the offers, you maybe hire a team. You would take action toward that inevitable result as if that thing was coming. As if that thing was coming. So if you believe that there's a giant snowstorm coming because the news people and the meteorologists say there's a snowstorm, what are you going to do? You're going to rush to the store. You're going to buy up all the bread, all the toilet paper, and all the milk. Why? I don't know, because that's what we do. And you're going to go sit at home and wait for snow. The snow's not there yet. There's no proof of snow yet. That's just you believe in some person on the TV that says that they're coming. It's coming. So you act as if. So that is what we need to do when it comes to the things that we're creating. That is how you hold the energy. Now, like I said, there are going to be times that you fall off track. There's gonna be times where you're at that frequency of like, yes, I believe I'm the one, I'm it, I'm gonna make it happen. It's only a matter of time, right? Like, that badass, like run through a freaking wall energy. And then something's gonna happen, or you're gonna see something, or whatever. It doesn't even matter. Some circumstance is gonna happen and it's gonna bump you down a couple of notches of frequency where you're not quite at the level of like, it's done. That level of it's done. Like there's a difference between, I think I can do this. I'm pretty sure this is going to happen versus like, bitch, it's just a different time. Like literally I can see the timeline where like, it's already, I've done it. Okay. I already have the millions in the bank. Like, my account's overdrawn right now. Literally doesn't matter because we're just time. What's time? It's an illusion. Different timeline. I'm a billionaire, like, there's a little difference in those energies, different level of frequency, different level of belief. You are going to wobble. Why? Because you are a human. And if you're not wobbling, I feel like that's probably a sign that you're not dreaming big enough. Because if you've never done the thing, if the thing's big enough, then you're going to have moments where it's the run through the wall moment. You're the one and you fully believe that. But then you're also a human and you're going to have moments of doubt too. So that's where we've stopped holding the energy. That's where the fear might be taking over a little bit our current reality. That's where we're a little too focused on current circumstances versus the future circumstances that we're creating. So that's the same as, okay, I know a snowstorm's coming, so I'm going to the store and I'm going to buy up all the ingredients. I'm going to come home because I know like it's only a matter of time the snow's coming, versus you get ready to get in the car to go to the store and they're like, wait, what if it doesn't come? Shoot. I mean, they say the snow's coming, but like, what if it doesn't? And I get to the store and I buy all this stuff that I don't even need. And then I feel stupid. I don't want to be the stupid person with extra toilet paper and extra bread. I don't even like bread, but we buy bread in snowstorms. That's what everybody else does. And what if it doesn't even snow? How many times have meteorologists told me it's going to snow and I think it's going to snow and I act like it's going to snow and then it doesn't snow? That's the fear taking over. We do this all the time. So that's you saying, I believe I'm going to be the most badass whatever in this space. And you go to take action. Maybe you go to invest in the mentor, or you go to build the website, or you go to create that piece of content, or whatever the thing is. And then you have that moment of pause and that fear thought kicks in and you're like, oh, And instead of saying, oh, that's a fear of thought, like that's normal, I'm going to keep it moving. What do I want to take action toward? Faith or fear? Do I move in faith or do I move in fear? Do I act as if what I want's going to happen, or do I act as if the worst case scenario is going to happen? What do I choose to pour energy into right now? Instead of thinking about it in that way, we think to ourselves, oh, wait, this is a thought I haven't thought of in a while, or I've never thought of before. Let me contemplate this. Let me overthink this to the point that now I'm wasting my time. And now I'm about to take action as if the thing that I don't want to happen is going to happen. Instead of taking action as if my success is inevitable, I'm going to take action as if my failure is inevitable. That is when we've let go of the energy. And guess what? It's normal. Totally normal. Everybody at every single level, no matter who it is, no matter, like, give me any example, everybody's dealt with this. The difference is between the average person and the person who is great in their own regard is they experience this. They have a level of self-awareness where they're able to catch it. And when they're ready, they course correct. Not saying they do it instantly, but they take a beat. They do inner work. They talk to a mentor or somebody that they trust, somebody who's created what it is that they want to create. They realize, oh, it's normal to feel these things. Okay, I'm not the only one. Okay, I see what's happening here. Okay, now how do I choose to act? What action do I choose to take for what outcome that I want to create? So you decide, and then when you forget, you re-decide, not with your thoughts, or not just with your thoughts, not just with your energy, but with your action. It means nothing if your energy and your actions are a mismatch. Means nothing. I can say all day long that I'm going to be one of the best podcasters on the planet, but if I don't record podcasts, that's not going to happen, right? Like Joe Rogan, Alex Cooper, like the podcast that you look up to, they didn't become who they are by not recording podcasts. They became who they are by going toward the thing that they wanted and believing it and actually acting as if their success is inevitable and playing really freaking big. You think they didn't have doubts? Of course they did. So when you forget and you notice, I dropped my energy a little bit. I dropped my frequency a little bit. Okay, cool. Why did I do that? What was the thing that shook me up? Okay, do I believe that? Is that what I choose? Is that what I choose to, write in the sand, take from the sand to the concrete right now? Your fear is just like something written in the sand. You can easily go, blow it away. But if you act on that, you're taking that thought from sand to concrete. We're turning it into something tangible. Okay? So that is how we hold our energy. It's a level of self-awareness. Okay, 2 more questions. Next question. What are my favorite rituals to set the tone for the day, or if I need an energy reset? So in the times that I forget, and I feel like I've had a dip in my frequency, is there anything that, is there a go-to that helps me get back on track and raise the vibe? So I have tested everything under the sun. I've done every ritual you can imagine, from meditating to journaling to unit. I mean, I've done it all. And everybody's different. I've noticed that I can't do the same thing every single day. It becomes too routine and it defeats the purpose. This isn't meant to be, the point isn't the ritual. That doesn't matter. It means nothing that you meditate every single day. Literally, you're not going to get to heaven, or you're not going to be more favored to make your dreams come true because you meditate every day. That means nothing. It's about how you feel during and after the meditation. So if you're getting into meditating, or you see successful people who meditate and you're like, okay, in order for me to be great, I need to meditate. But every time you sit there, you're miserable or you get nothing out of it, not to say that we can't practice things and get better at it, because meditation is one of those skills that, for some of us, it takes definitely some time and practice to get the benefit of it, but it's not serving you, right? Like, you can want to improve something and work at it like any skill, but just because you're doing it means nothing. It's not about the routine. It's not about the journaling. It's not about any ritual, anything. It's not about the oil. It's not about anything. It's about how you feel about it and how you come out the other side of the thing. So all that to say, I switch this up all the time. It's all about how I feel in the day, what time of day it is, how I've slept the night before. It's all about like, what can I do for myself right now that's going to set my vibe at a level where I know that I want to be in order to attract and create the things that I want to create? What does that look like? So sometimes, or often, I will say the thing that helps me the most with this is some sort of movement. Something about moving. I don't know what it is. I mean, there's a ton of science behind this, obviously, like working out, especially like the endorphins and all of that. Obviously, there's something to that. But I'm talking about even just like getting in the car and leaving the house can be a vibe reset for me. Something about like getting in a car, putting on songs that fire me up, or listening to something, just like the movement of getting out of the house. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery, of environment. So movement's huge for me. Working out is huge for me, especially when I don't want to. That just, the endorphins are game changers, obviously. Music, taking a nap, right? Like, anybody who knows anything about energy, you'll hear them say this. Like, if you're having a really shitty day or you're in a really, really bad mood, and it's one of those things like, okay, a little journal sesh ain't gonna do, like, I'm deep in this mud, take a nap. It's one of the best things that you can do. Like, there's no sense in forcing a bunch of actions on a to-do list unless you absolutely have to do them. You're much better off taking a nap, because that's going to reset your energy, reset your vibe. You're going to wake up anew. That's like literally why we sleep. So napping, praying about it. This can be like the best reset. When's the last time you've been feeling like, and you pray like, God, thank you for shifting my energy. Thank you for sending me the reframe that I need to see this differently. Help me see this differently. Help me feel different. Help me, thanking God in advance for how you want to feel. Works like a freaking charm. And then the last thing I'll say here is deep self-compassion and remembering that you are human. If you were meant to be, again, this high energy, high frequency freak of nature, you would have not been made a human. You would have been made a robot, but you're not. So give yourself a break. If you're playing a really big game, in addition to everything else on your plate, like if you're a parent or you have a relationship or you have family drama or friend drama or just human drama, in addition to playing a big game in business, you're going to have a lot to deal with, a lot of things that are going to be fighting for your attention, that are going to be fighting to help you, to make you want to look at a situation darker than what it really is. This is the human experience. So give yourself a break, give yourself some grace, and take a nap. And then decide again who you are, what you're capable of, and what you're here to do, and go do it. And then the last question that I want to dive into for this episode, and it's so good. So she said, I want to believe that I'm made for big things. I have dreams that are what I would consider bigger than anyone in my life and my family, but I also fear that I'm fooling myself. I've never accomplished anything remotely as big. And she gave more specific. I rewrote this to make it more general. But she said, I've never accomplished anything remotely big at all. And I know that it's silly and counterproductive, but I still have that little voice in my head that says, who are you to want that? You are not one of them, meaning the type of person to do the thing that she wants to do. And I don't know about you, but I could not resonate more with any idea, any question in my life. Like, who hasn't felt that? I still feel that. When I say things like I want to be and I will be like one of the greatest podcasters on the planet, the voice in my head is like, you idiot, you're going to have to answer for that one day. Like, people are going to be like, remember that time Allie said blah, 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 and look at her now. She's still number 203 in Russia. Loser. You know? Like, duh, that's everybody, guys. Everybody feels this way, whether they admit it or not, whether they're aware of it or not. This is normal. This is the game. If everybody came out the womb believing in their power, believing that they had what it takes to do something great, never doubting themselves, we would all be superhero billionaires. Every single one of us. It is the ones of us who are able to have a human experience, see different things in life that are available to us, realize that our actions choose the type of life that we want, and say, okay, I could go left, but I choose to go right. Nope, nobody in my family's gone to the right. Everybody's gone left. I'm going to go to the right anyway. I may be the first, but somebody's got to be the first. Anybody that you look up to, anybody that has done anything big, if you look at their background, 9 times out of 10, the odds were stacked against them. That's what makes them so great. That's what makes their story so inspiring. Because you're like, how, with those parents, with that upbringing, with that, unique situation, how did that person believe in themselves to get up every single day and pursue that thing, that massive mountain that nobody believed that they could top? That's what makes the person so great. Most there are examples where, they had incredible parents that spoke belief and life into them. That's going to be all of our kids, right? I feel like our generation raising kids right now, they're going to be the most like ego inflated kids in a good way, right? Like, because I think we're all so much more aware of the power of our words and parenting. And it's not that we care more, but we're just more aware is the word for it. So our kids are all like growing up to believe that they can pretty much do anything. And it's going to be really interesting to see what it is that they do, but they still have to decide for themselves, right? You can speak life over somebody all day, but you still have to be the one to pursue the thing. So anytime you get the thought, like, I've never done this before, how many things in your life have you done for the first time? Take like the most, the overused example is like, there was a time you never took a step, or you never rode a bike, or you never swam in a pool, or you never had a healthy relationship. And then you did. You went from the girl who, like, for me, I was the girl who couldn't have a healthy relationship to save my life, who was destined to repeat what I witnessed as a kid, which was abuse and trauma and all the things. Right? Like that's what I was, brought up, or I saw for the most part, until I changed, until I now have like one of the healthiest relationships that I even know. That's crazy. If you had told me that 10, 12 years ago, I would have laughed in your face. Like, I agree. Same thing in this business. You didn't believe you could go to college, and then you went to college. You didn't believe that you could do, everybody has the first. And if you don't, let this be the first. Do you believe in yourself? Like, it's enough to believe in yourself that you can do something somebody else has done, but can you believe in yourself to be the first to do the thing ever? Like 4-minute mile person, imagine the level of self-belief when every person was like, that's physically impossible. Scientifically, physically, absolutely impossible. There's no way somebody can run a mile in 4 minutes. Until whoever that person was like, bet. And then guess what? So many people do it now. That is a crazy level of self-belief. But somebody's got to have it. Somebody's got to have it. And I truly believe that's why we're put on this planet in the way that we are as co-creators. We cannot control all the outside circumstances. That is by design. We cannot control the environment that we were raised in, that we were brought up in. We cannot control certain things that happen in our life that we genuinely have no control over. But what we can control is what we do with those with the cards that you're dealt. You get to play them. To me, I believe that's literally the game. Are you going to take a stack of cards, shit cards, and fold them and say, this game sucks, I'm out? Because a lot of people do that, unfortunately. Or are you going to take those stack of cards and say, these are shit, and I'm about to bluff the F out of everybody and fool all y'all till I get some better cards in my deck? Because that's an option too. Or I'm going to play these so strategically, I don't even have to bluff until I'm winning the game, because you get to do that too. And there are going to be times that you play to your best ability and you still lose. But if you're still alive, you still get to play the game. So how do you choose to play it? So that voice in your head is normal. Everybody has it. But just like I answered in the previous question, or the one about holding energy, do you take action on faith or on that fear voice? Because something gave you the idea of the dream. There is a part of you, your higher self, believes in your capability to make that happen. Do you choose to act as if you believe that voice, your higher self, the voice of God? Think of it that way. Do you think God is whispering in your ear, who the hell do you think you are? You little fool. What a dork. You think you can do that thing? Bitch, please. You think God is like, listen, I did not put you on this planet to do anything cool. You need to be this little tiny minion. You need to play small. Like maybe in your next life, you can do something cool, but not this one. Hello? Whose voice do you think that is? God or Satan? But the crazy thing is people hear the voice of Satan and they say, you're right. Okay, I'm going to take action as if I'm the little dork who's never going to make anything of my life. Thank you, Satan. Thanks for putting me back in my place. That's literally what we're doing when we listen to that voice and we take action based on that voice. That's what it means to move in faith or fear. God believes in you. God put you on this planet to believe in yourself. Nobody can believe in you for you. That is an inside job. You get to decide that. Nobody else can. So what are you going to do? Woo! I don't know about you, but I'm fired up. And I think my computer is about to die. So I'm going to shut this down before I get shut down. Thank you so much for listening. I think this year, I think it's going to be a little crazy, but I think it's going to be okay. I think like if we survived last year and we're still standing and we're conscious enough to realize the power of our thoughts and our energy and give it a fair shot anyway and move as much as we can in faith and fear, then we're going to come out the other side of this year really proud, really excited, and doing really big things. I know it. I believe it. I'm speaking that into existence for me and for you. I love you. I believe in you. Happy freaking New Year. I'll see you next week. Bye.